Alright, here we are for round 1 in this competitive Modern League, and we won the die roll, which is always big in Modern. And yeah, I think this hand's pretty good. 3 Search for Tomorrows is always a good starting point, so because we have this Cryptic, we're almost certainly wanting to get an island with these searches for tomorrow. So our only choice is, do we want to lead on Misty into Forest or Breeding Pool? So on turn 3 we're going to have a Search for Tomorrow come off a Suspend, so we're going to have, and we're going to want to play a land. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So in case we don't draw another land, I think we want to be safe and lead off with Breeding Pool here. Because if we go Forest, Breeding Pool, Island, Stomping Ground, we can't cast Cryptic on turn 3, so yeah. This only bites us if we're playing against a particularly aggressive deck. But even then, there is a lot of value in having all of your mana early. I don't know, is this Boggles? Okay, this is probably Tron? The green-white version. Always a yield. Yeah, I was about to say I would love to draw a Remand here, but I guess that's not in the cards. So I think we're going Misty into Island. No. Misty into the other Breeding Pool, search. Next turn this comes off Suspend. We can... well, he's not going to have turn 3 Tron, which is good at least. So... yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So that means that 2 turns from now, on turn 4, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so next turn we're going to have 3, 4 mana, and then 5, 6, and then 5, 6 untapped sources. So then if we draw Scapeshift, we can Farseek and then Scapeshift, but that doesn't actually quite work because they're not at 18, they're at 20 life right now. It's actually very rare for Tron decks to deal themselves damage, unless they're on a budget and playing Pain lands. Okay, that's kind of that's a very slow start for Tron. I'm pretty surprised by this. So, okay, so we're getting an island with this, and I think we just leave up Cryptic instead of playing Farseek. Okay. And next turn, we're going to want to search up a swamp with one of these Search for Tomorrows, and probably a forest. Yeah, I'm fine with them just cracking stars. I will Cryptic something like an expedition map. Yeah, these are all fine. Actually, I'm going to Cryptic Command to bounce a land and force my opponent to discard. My opponent's this choked on mana. I just want to slow him down as much as possible. Oh, that's actually pretty... I mean, it's not the best, because we don't have Scapeshift yet, but it is nice that we have the ability to get them below 18 life. Let's get a swamp in case we draw Bring to Light. And This doesn't matter too much. I'll get a forest here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Well, Platinum Empyrean is not what we wanted to draw. However, it's kind of funny because we can cast it next turn. So let's just be safe and I guess grab a Watery Grave. I guess our opponent could have Path to Exile too. Well, he discarded one to hand size. It's entirely possible that he only had one in hand and just, you know, didn't use it because why would you against a creatureless deck? Discards Relic. Well, this isn't the payoff we wanted, but I guess is the payoff we deserve. Fortunately, it's not a two-turn clock even with this lightning bolt, and he's gonna have Tron in 2 turns. If we draw a Snapcaster Mage, could be good. Ooh, that's actually lethal. Very funny. So yeah, we just play the Sakura Tribe Elder, deal him 9 damage next turn, and lightning bolt him. This is really very funny. I mean, if he has Path, he has Path, but... Okay, this isn't the way we planned to win, but ramp into an 8-mana 8/8, and yeah, it gets the job done. I mean, if this were an Ulamog's Crusher, that would have been better, but... You know how Living End sometimes wins because it just casts random 5-mana 4/4s and 5-mana 3/4s that shoot flyers? That's how I feel when I win like that with Scapeshift. There was one time where I got all my Scapeshifts cranially extracted, and I won. So yeah, that was an affinity opponent, and I just won by beating down with Snapcaster Mages and Sakura Tribe Elders. Oh, I forgot to mention he also took he had like 3 of them. First time he took my Scapeshifts, then he took my Inferno Titans, and then he took all my Lightning Bolts. Okay. As good as Platinum Empyrean was that game, that was a very slow draw for our opponent, and I'm pretty glad to put in the sideboard here, because they're gonna have Path. It doesn't do anything against Ugin. Wormcoil blocks it all day. I mean, sorry, it doesn't do anything against Karn. It's actually good against Ugin, but still, I'm happy to have that in the sideboard here. And so, sideboarding, some obvious stuff, Crumble to Dust, it's not exactly lights out, but it's good. Negate is good against their Planeswalkers and their Land Searchers. Ancient Grudge, if you draw it early enough, maybe you can snipe an Expedition map with it. Or an Oblivion Stone, though usually not relevant here. Glenledger Archmage is just something that's better than Damnation or Anger of the Gods, because those do a literal nothing. I guess I'll keep in the Lightning Bolts, because, you gotta get him below 18, and this hand seems solid. Turn 1 search into turn 2 accelerant is always good when you're playing Scapeshift. And of course, we have to decide what land we want to get here with Misty Rainforest. I think we're just going to start. Just make sure we have all of our colors by getting a Stomping Grounds here. Stomping Grounds untapped because we want to suspend search for tomorrow. And I think we Farseek for a breeding pool next turn. I mean, as tempting as it is to want to hit a land searcher there, we just want to hit whatever haymaker they have. Okay, second remand's good. Yeah, we want to draw a breeding pool. I mean, have breeding pool here. And with Search for Tomorrow, we're going to get... What are we going to get? I think we're just going to get another island. No, wait, that's our last island? Oh. So we want to go secure a tribe and hold up remand. Actually, no, I think we just get Swamp here because we want to maximize our chances of being able to cast a game-winning spell. It will be kind of a nuisance if later we want to have Scapeshift plus, not Scapeshift, Cryptic plus Remand mana. But I think that is fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not quite there yet. If we can slow our opponent down by 2 turns, we could be able to go Secure a Tribe, attack for 2 and remand. I'm sorry, and then Scapeshift. Because you can sack it post-combat to get a land. Yeah, this is getting remanded. Okay, that's good. Ancient Grudge would be a good draw here. Kadama's Reach, not so much. Okay, so he's going to tap these 2 probably to get the last Tron land, and then he has 7 mana in play. So definitely playing Island. Definitely attacking. Or actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just... Yeah, we have Bring to Light now. We just... Actually, yeah, it's always better. Yeah, we can just get Crumble to Dust and hit their towers. So red, green, blue, black, other. Get Crumble to Dust and hit Urza's tower. Alright. So, okay. I'm glad to see that our opponent has 2 paths to exile. I'm glad to see our opponent has 2 Path to Exile and a Nature's Claim. I think our opponent is a little bit too focused on trying to not die to the Platinum Empyrean. Like, it's a kind of tunnel vision that can get you when you're playing decks like this. Sorry, when you're sideboarding. Not just playing decks like this at all, but you lose to 1 card in game 1, and then you don't think about how your opponent's going to sideboard. Let's see what else our opponent has here that can be relevant. Ratchet Bomb? Really? Wow. Yeah, I mean, you usually don't see, like, maybe our opponent just hasn't seen a lot of Scapeshift before. But, you don't see people just try to ramp into a Platinum Empyrean. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Kadama's Reach costs a net of 2 mana because we can just play a land that we get. Alright, let's attack with the Secura Tribe Elder. Okay, so we play Cinderglade, and we have 7 mountains left in our library. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want to do what we want to do. Yeah, we have 7 lands in play. We can sack everything, get 1 Valakut and 6 mountains. Do them all upstairs. If he tries to Ghost Quarter one of our mountains, then we can just search up search up a basic mountain off of this Ghost Quarter. So as long as we are careful Alright, our opponent scoops him up. I mean, if I were him, I would at least let the Scapeshift resolve to see if, maybe I make a mistake or see if that Ghost Quarter is effective. But, yeah, we were going to play around that anyways. So, yeah, sack everything, get all the other, get all the shock lands out of our deck. So we get the last 2 Stomping Grounds plus 4 Steam Vents plus 1 Valakut. So that would lead to 6 Valakut triggers. We're going to point them all upstairs. And the way that you can disrupt the combo with Instant Speed LD, either with like Fulminator Mage, Ghost Quarter, Tech Edge, is if your opponent only has 7 lands in play, you can disrupt that combo by hitting one of the mountains. So the way Valakut is worded, let me bring up Valakut. So Valakut says, whenever a mountain enters the battlefield, if you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have Valakut deal 3 damage. So that's what's called an intervening if clause. So that condition has to be true when that trigger goes on the stack and when it tries to resolve. So if we searched up a bunch of mountains and then there were only 6, and then he destroys one of the mountains, then when that Valakut trigger tries to resolve, if we don't have another mountain to get, then that'll just fizzle or be countered upon resolution because that condition is no longer true after that happens. Okay. But we're just going to get the shock lands and have one last basic mountain to get in case he Ghost Quarters us. Okay. So that was good. This second game is usually how we want our games to go against Tron, especially now that we have Bring to Light for Crumble to Dust. Just remand their spells early and be able to combo them out.